Hello, everybody. Welcome to Global Hack Week season launch. And this is the last stream we have for day one. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is our Making Better Hacks Faster with GitHub Copilot session. So I've already seen some of you in chat talking about how you're using AI tools, coding tools to help with your day-to-day workflow. We have people using Perplexity. We have hackers using Copilot. So I'm super excited. Let me know in chat, like what are some of your favorite tools and what are some of the features that you use to help with your day-to-day workflows. Now, if you haven't checked in, please go to this link. I will resend it in chat so that everybody can get your points and as well as get access to some resources. Here is the checking link that we have for you. So you also get access to the full slide deck that we're going to be showing today. And we have a question here. Is there any way to check our check-in points? Yeah, so you will receive a check-in email every day. I don't know what time specifically, but you will be receiving one every day. So you will have all the challenges that you have completed, all the events that you have checked into, and whether you have completed all the necessary requirements to receive a basic swag mailed to your home or bonus swags. So definitely check it out. If you have any questions about the points, make sure you open a ticket on Discord and our team will be happy to assist you. And throughout this session, please feel free to ask any questions in chat. We want to make sure you have a good time and you get the most out of this session. And I'm super excited to introduce to you GitHub Copilot today. With that, I'm going to introduce myself real quick. If you haven't met me, my name is Wei, a coach here at Major League Hacking. My favorite programming languages are JavaScript and TypeScript. And the fun fact about me is I have coached over 25 hackathons around North America since I became a coach. So I am super, super stoked and super privileged to have this opportunity, as well as streaming at Global Hack Weeks. I'm actually coaching one other hackathon end of this month. This is going to be a 800 attendee plus hackathon, but I can't disclose where that is just yet. So I'm super looking forward to that. And thank you so much, Flying Girl, for sharing the swag link. This is in case anyone is wondering what swags are. And if you complete some of the challenges that are required to get basic swag, MLH will actually mail you the swag via snail mail. So you will actually get some awesome stickers and postcards in the mail. All right. JavaScript and TypeScript. All right. I'm super happy to hear that. And is channel points important? Channel points are not important. So this is something to reward you for watching our streams on Twitch. And you can actually redeem it for emojis and things like that, I believe. So I have tons of channel points. I'm super excited to use some of that and redeem some of the awards on Twitch. And here is the challenges link. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we have another fan of JavaScript and TypeScript. Way to go. But I'll have to tell you, for this session today, we're actually going to work on a Python starter project. This is a perfect use case of GitHub Copilot because that is a language and framework that I haven't worked with day to day. So this is going to be a very good demonstration of how GitHub Copilot can help you work in a code base that you're unfamiliar with, for example, in another programming language and framework. And just to repeat on the points question, you will receive a points email every day during the Global Hack Week. And on the email, you will see the number of points, the number of challenges that you have completed, as well as whether you are eligible for swags. And if not, it will tell you like what else you need to do to receive swags in the mail. Hope that helps. And let's keep going. If anyone has any questions, please drop them in chat. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe I'll actually post the chat on the screen. Let's see how that works. There's a feature to show comments directly on stage. So let's see if that works. Now, just to go through this session's like an outline for this session, we're going to explain what is GitHub Copilot and why you would use this in your coding day-to-day workflows. And we're going to show you how to set up GitHub Copilot. And then we're going to go through a interactive tutorial and show you some of the features of GitHub Copilot. And at the end, I will actually add a bonus feature at the end, but I won't give away too much, but I will give you a quick, very cool demo at the end that brings everything together, also brings in like the latest technologies and features of GitHub Copilot. So stay tuned for that. All right, looks like Flying Girl got me excited for JS. Now I have to use Python. All right, welcome. I'm glad you're joining in. This is for first Global Hack Week 404. Can we share the challenges link again? Of course. So 404 already shared it, but let me actually post it with the HTTPS because I think on YouTube, the links are not clickable when they don't have the HTTPS in front. All right, the challenges link I tried, yeah. So I just posted it on YouTube as well. You are so welcome. This chat section is nice on the bottom right. That way, like everybody can follow along. All right, so let's kind of explain like what is GitHub Copilot. If you have used like an AI coding assistant, you can think of GitHub Copilot as an first of all, like an AI pair programmer that can help you write, debug, and understand code. As GitHub Copilot has evolved over the years, it's actually become more than that, which I will show you at the last section of this workshop. AI agent, it is now actually like an AI agent instead of just in addition to being an AI pair programmer. But basics first, I'm going to show you some of the features below, as you can see. We're going to show you how to explain code using the /explain command. We're going to show you how to fix any errors that you have using /fix. And then lastly, we're going to show you how to create new code for GitHub, for your project using GitHub Copilot. And here's a quick survey that Copilot has conducted. If you look at it, 88% of the people feel more productive while using GitHub Copilot. They feel more satisfied, less frustrated, more efficient using GitHub Copilot. So I highly recommend you check it out. If you haven't already, I'm going to actually show you how to install it and everything very shortly here. So I hope I've convinced you to at least try it. Now, if you haven't installed Python, please go ahead and head over to python.org/downloads to get Python installed. We're going to be using Python 3. So as long as your command python-v returns like a version in the 3 version, major version, then you should be good to go. So give me a thumbs up in chat if you already have Python, or let me know if you are going to install it right now. Give everybody just a second there. All right, how many of you already have Python? Okay, so yeah, we did get some answers there. I appreciate it. So a number of you already have Python installed, so we're good to go. Just let me know if you need more time. And then secondly, let's go ahead and set up GitHub Copilot. All right. Nick has PyCharm thanks to GitHub Student Developer Pack. Oh, that's excellent. I know Student Developer Pack comes with a ton of resources, which I will actually show you some of them right after this. But PyCharm is great. And speaking of which, GitHub Copilot lives where you write code. So this means all kinds of IDE support. So we have Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, Vim, NeoVim, and JetBrains IDEs, which includes PyCharm and more. You can even use GitHub Copilot through the command line tool using the GHCLI. So if you want to work with Copilot that way, you can go through that as well. Now, for the purpose of this demo, we're going to use Visual Studio Code. But Nick, if you already have GitHub Student Developer Pack and you have PyCharm, you can just install the Copilot extension there as well. But for the demo I'm going to do, I will go through Visual Studio Code. So give me a thumbs up if you already have VS Code installed, or if you need a little bit more time, here is the link to install it. All right, never used Copilot with Vim? Haha, yes, look forward to that. Let me know how that goes. All right, looks like everybody's set and have Visual Studio Code and Python installed. Let's just keep going without wasting too much time. I'm going to show you, this is my favorite command on the VS Code editor. This is Control-Shift-P or Command-Shift-P on Mac OS. So this will open the command palette of VS Code. This is especially useful if you don't know where things are and you don't want to remember every single shortcut. This is the only shortcut you'll need in VS Code. All right, so remember that. You'll be quizzed on this. Command-Shift-P on Mac OS, Control-Shift-P on Windows and Linux. And once you punch that in, go ahead and type install extension, from which we will search GitHub Copilot. All right, search for GitHub Copilot, and then we're going to install GitHub Copilot. So as soon as you install GitHub Copilot, the GitHub Copilot chat will automatically be installed together. So you just need to install GitHub Copilot, all right? And then with that, let's do that together. This link is actually out of date, so let me go ahead and fix this. Let me find the link from the challenges site some of you have been talking about. So if you go to challenges, ghw.link/challenges, this page has all our challenges, and one of them is sign up for GitHub Student Developer Pack. And here is the link to it. So it's actually GHW SL25-GitHub. Season launch 25-GitHub. All right. Now let me show this again. Make sure you use this link. This link will expedite your approval because there is like a little bit of an approval process for everybody. So make sure you use this link, GHW SL25-GitHub, to get your GitHub Student Developer Pack. Now, while everybody's getting that, I will just show you real quick what it should look like. On VS Code, you punch in Control-Shift-P or Command-Shift-P on Mac OS, and you just put install extensions. From there, you can search for GitHub Copilot, and you can just click install. So I already have this installed. I have both Copilot and Copilot Chat installed. So this should look like this once you have everything installed. All right. Now, please go to this link to get the Student Developer Pack. While you're doing it, I'm going to actually show you what are some of my favorite features of the GitHub Student Developer Pack. All right. And if you already have it, let me know, like, what are some things that you're currently using from the GitHub Student Developer Pack? All right, so here is the page where GitHub links all the resources that comes with the Student Developer Pack. And as you can see, We have tons of resources here and all the different offers that we have. All right, so we have a question in chat from Victor. Is the Copilot only for Python or also for other languages? So the answer is Copilot is for any language. It's for all the languages. All right, so it has knowledge of everything that has ever been written by human, and you're in good hands. Any language you code in, exactly. You are exactly right. Can you send the link again? Yes. I've been using GitHub Copilot in my VS Code for over a year now. Excellent. So you must have seen some of the different new features that they have introduced. I'm super excited to hear your experience. Nick says they're using JetBrains Suite, but the Java GUI builder on IntelliJ. All right, so it sounds like there are some limitations with that, unfortunately. All right, so let me actually show you some of the features that I like to highlight that comes for free with GitHub Student Developer Pack. So first up, if you like free domain names, they actually provide quite a few different options for you. So Namecheap provides one free domain name on the .me TLD, so anything .me. I actually have way.me TLD, so that is my domain name. Name.com also provides you a free domain name. There are actually 15 different domain options that you can choose from. So these are very good resources to get you just started. You can use a domain name for your portfolio, for your side project, or anything that you can think of. You also get free hosting credits. So if you want to host your app on DigitalOcean or Azure, they all provide free hosting services for you. There's also .tech domain name if you like that. Heroku is another hosting platform, and so much more. And in addition to that, you actually get resources to learn, right? To learn how to code. So you can use some of these different tools that here to educate yourself on data engineering, on front-end engineering, Git, command line, and so much more. And they all come free with the Student Developer Pack. So front-end masters, for example, I know GitLens is a very popular extension to interact with a Git repository. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out. We also have Notion, AppWrite, Datadog, more Azure, 1Password in case you need a password manager, Stripe Access. I actually signed up for this, and they waived the transaction fees on first $1,000 in revenue, which is pretty cool. If you want to practice coding interviews, they also have Algo Expert and so much more. So I won't go through everything. Interview Cake, Browser Stack, CI tools, and so much more. So I won't go through every single one, but you can check it out. Check out this list at education.github.com/pack, and you will get access to all these resources. All right, let's go back to chat here. Aryan got a free domain name for a year. That's awesome. Codex, yes. Waiting for DevPack. Domino's Premium membership, that'd be awesome. That'd be a great collaboration, actually. Can working professionals get GitHub Student Developer Pack? Unfortunately, it is only for students. So if you like, you can enroll in a class at your local community college, or as long as you become a student, you'll be eligible for it. But otherwise, a lot of these services also have free trials that you can try out. How to check if I am using GitHub Student Developer Pack or not. So if you go to the link I have on the screen right here, you should be able to see if you are verified or not. So just go to this link. All right. All right, let's keep going, everybody. Oh, we do have one more question. Does Student Developer Pack require me to be a university student? I believe it's any student. Any student enrolled in a degree-seeking program, I believe. But you can find out the full requirements at this link. All right, next up, let's actually head over to our VS Code and get started with our demo. So this is going to be like a workshop to show you how to use GitHub Copilot as an AI pair programmer. And at the end, I will show you how to use Copilot as a coding agent. All right, so I'm going to save that for the end. So now, let's start a new project. We can open a new window or use and select clone git repo, or just use my favorite command, which is Command-Shift-P on macOS, Control-Shift-P on Windows and Linux. And all you have to do is type in git clone. All right, so let's do that together. I'm going to open up my Visual Studio Code. I'm going to punch in Command-Shift-P and git clone. All right, and this is very important, and it's easily missed. All right, make sure you click on clone from GitHub. Make sure you click on clone from GitHub. And then afterwards, let's search for, all right, make sure you select clone from GitHub. And afterwards, make sure you search for MLH/Copilot starter. All right, so let's type in MLH/Copilot starter. So as soon as you select that repo, you will see this file browser, and you can just select a repository destination for it. For this demo, I'm just going to pop it into my downloads folder, but feel free to pop it into any folder of your choice. Okay. And then afterwards, let's open the cloned repository. So I'm just going to click open. All right, give me a thumbs up if you're all good here. You can see the files to the left. We have app.py, readme, requirements.txt. All right, so go ahead and open app.py if you don't mind. Flask, this is indeed a Flask app. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Can I please recap? Of course. So let me just go through the slides one more time. By the way, the slides are available at the checking link. I'm going to send it one more time in case you want to follow along. But basically, we opened a new window and we typed git clone. Afterwards, we selected clone from GitHub. So by the way, there's a link right here. I don't know if you can see clone git repository. So you can click on that. Or if you don't want to look for it, you can just use the command palette shortcut and type in git clone. Afterwards, make sure you click clone from GitHub up top and type in MLH/Copilot starter. So this is going to show you, it's going to show the file system selector, and I just saved this repository in my downloads folder, and afterwards I opened up the project and it looks like this. All right. Is this font and color okay for everybody? Should I change to light mode? Is this better? Font's okay. All right. Perfect. What's the best theme, everybody? Maybe I'll do a quiet light. Maybe I'll do a light modern, quiet light. Okay, light or dark? Vote in chat. Should I do light or dark? This is what light looks like. Flashbang, better. Tailwind, moon, blue. Dark. All right, dark. Everybody likes dark. All right, let's go back to dark. Color theme. All right, I'll do dark modern for now. I think this looks pretty good. Now, can I get a Python expert in the chat to tell me what this app does? All right. As a JavaScript and TypeScript person, I don't work in Python or Flask day to day, so it might be a little bit difficult for me to understand as a beginner, like what this piece of code is doing. But what does this app do? This app makes pizza. All right, let's actually take a look and have Copilot help us out and see if 404 is correct. And that brings us to the very first command I'm going to show you. That is the /explain command. Okay, so this is used to explain code that you're unfamiliar with. In this case, we opened up app.py. We don't know what it's doing. So we can just open up GitHub Copilot command, which is using Control-I or using Command-I on Mac OS. And all we have to do is type in /explain. All right. So we have enter mark saying it sends a time in home root, returns time. All right, excellent. So let's go ahead and do that. Command-I /explain. So I basically selected the piece of code I need help with, and I typed in /explain. I can give it some more prompt, like some more help, but for now, I'm just gonna enter /explain and see what it does. All right, and in like less than a second, you can see the whole code base has been analyzed, and Copilot chat has responded with a message here. So I can either just read it right here, or if it's a little bit too small, I can open up in chat. So this will then open up the GitHub Copilot chat on the sidebar. And as you can see, there's like a very detailed breakdown of what everything does here. So the Python code defines a function that calculates the number of seconds since Unix epoch. And here is the breakdown. And Unix epoch is just a time which is defined in most computer systems. That is January 1st, 1970 at 00 UTC, right? All right, and just like that, we kind of understand what this piece of code is doing now. Which is better, GitHub Copilot CLI or Klein? So GitHub Copilot comes with a lot of the pro models for free, especially if you're a student. Whereas with Klein, you need access to like API keys and you have to pay for them a lot of times. So I definitely recommend GitHub Copilot over Klein. All right. So that is the explain command, easy peasy. Let's now open up a new terminal. So if you remember, we have Control-Shift-P or Command-Shift-P on Mac OS, right? We can open a terminal and start preparing the project, preparing to run this project, okay? So we can either use terminal, new terminal, use this shortcut, which is Control-Shift-Pick, or if you don't want to remember all the shortcuts, Control-Shift-P or Command-Shift-P and just say create new terminal. Bash is fine with me. Okay. Actually, on Mac OS, I think it's changed. The default terminal is now Zeesh, right? So let's do that. Let's just run that so that we're using Vish. Wrong password. Okay, I guess I don't know the password, so we can skip that for now. What is my go-to model? So with the GitHub Copilot student subscription, you have access to, I believe, the Claude 4 models. So that's the go-to right now. That's the most powerful, one of the most powerful models out there. For this demo account, I'm going to be using Claude Sonnet 3.7 because that's what I have access to. Oh, you can't see it. Here, let me hide the comments. So for the demo, I'm going to use Claude 3.7. Can GitHub Copilot use other LLMs? So GitHub Copilot can, like you have a collage of LLMs to choose from this dropdown. I don't believe you can use local AI models. So if you want to use local AI models, you might need to look for like another extension that supports it. Yep, 404, you're right on. Claude Sonnet 4 is one of the best models out there right now. Gemini 2.5 is also pretty good. Anyways, let's keep going. So now that we have a terminal created, let's go ahead and create a virtual environment, activate it, and install Python requirements. So take a screenshot if you need this, or you can get access to the slides from the check-in link. On macOS, it's going to be slightly different to activate the virtual environment. But I believe this is a command that works on Windows. And the other thing to keep in mind for macOS is I think the built-in Python version is 3, and you have to do Python 3 instead of Python. So let's go ahead and do that together. Create a virtual environment. We're going to do Python -m venv. So Python 3, in my case, -m venv. And this is going to take a second to create a virtual environment directory, which will have everything that we'll need to launch this project. And afterwards, if you're on Windows, just type in venv/scripts/activate. On macOS, I think it's, let me just see if I get this the first try. I think it's source, venv, bin, activate or something like that. All right, yeah, I got it. So on macOS, you'll have to type this one. On Windows, you just need to type in venv/scripts/activate. All right, and lastly, we're going to run pip install -r requirements.txt. So pip install -r requirements.txt. So what this command does is it will look into your requirements.txt file. This will contain all the packages you'll need to run this application. In this case, we have Python 3, Flask 3, and I'm going to press enter to install that dependency. And just like that, you can see we have successfully installed Flask 3. Great question. Why should we work in virtual environment instead of like the global Python instance? The main reason for working in virtual environment is to prevent issues with conflicting versions amongst multiple projects. So let's say I have another project that uses Flask 2, right? There is really no way, if we're using a single Python, like the global instance, to install, Python, because all the packages are installed globally if you do that, right? It's not like a Node.js project where all the dependencies are installed or linked locally in the Node modules by default. With this, like everything is installed globally, and you will have a hard time switching between versions if you have the same dependency but different versions in multiple projects. So I hope that helps. So this venv is basically Node modules in a Node project, if you will. Hope that answers your question. All right. All right, now that we have our dependencies installed, let's go ahead and run our Flask application. And all we have to do is run this command. Okay, so here's the follow-up question. What happens when a library is installed in a VENV? So when a library is installed in a VENV, it can only be accessed within the virtual environment. So if I have a VENV folder in another project that has Flask 2.0, there will be no conflicts because Flask 2 will be installed in the second project's VENV directory, whereas the Flask 3 version that I need here will be installed here. Hope that helps. All right, perfect. Glad I could help. All right, now let's run this application. We can use Python-m flask run --debug. So let's go ahead and run that. For those of you who are familiar with Flask and Python, what does --debug do? Let me know in chat. Let's see if anyone knows. So for now, I'm just going to punch it in. I think I can just do flask run -debug. Yep, I don't have to do the Python-m here because Flask is installed inside the virtual environment. Flask run -debug. And you can see that we are running a development server, and it is now listening on this URL. I can go ahead and copy that, or just use hold down Control on Windows or Command on macOS and click. This will open up the web page. Let me actually open up my window here, and then I will hold down Command and press on the link. All right, just like that, we have our application running, but we have an error. All right, so let's see. We got some answers in chat about --debug option. 404 says it gets the debug mode, shows errors and traceback in the server itself. Yep, right on. And enables the debug mode when running the program. Yep, those are all very, very valid points for the --debug option. Helps debugging error, yes. And one key thing is --debug comes with hot reloading, meaning if I make any changes in any file, the server will restart so that you can try again without having to kill it and start it again. So that's another advantage of the debug mode. So with that, we now have an error. All right. 404 loves hot reloads. Do you love hot reloads better or hot pizza? Let me know which one's better. All right, so now that's okay. So we have another question in chat. The VENV could not be loaded. What should you do? So tell us what's the error you're seeing. Are you on Windows or Mac OS? And if you're using Windows, make sure you run this command VENV. After you create it, VENV scripts activate. If you are on Mac OS, make sure you run this command that I shared earlier to activate the virtual environment. And looks like 404 is going to help out there. I appreciate it. Go Python pros. Hot Pocket's better. Hot Pizza's better. Hot reloads are close. Gotcha. All right, so as you can see, we have an error, right? We need to fix this error. But if you're just like looking at it, this is a little bit overwhelming. I really don't understand what all this is saying. So I'm just going to copy this error message, and I'm going to get help from Copilot here. It looks like we only have 15 minutes left, so I actually need to hurry. So I'm going to select the piece of code that I think has a bug. I'm going to press Command-I on Mac OS or Control-I on Windows and Linux. And I'm going to actually type in /fix So this is a command that tells Copilot something's wrong, please fix it. And you can just do that, or you can also like help it a little bit by giving it an error message. And that's typically what I like to do, so that Copilot has some context of the error that I am seeing. And there are a lot more models available for this Copilot prompt. And for now, I'm going to use Gemini 2.0 Flash, since it is very effective and it's also very affordable. As you can see, it only costs 0.25 times the credit. So I'm going to hit go here. And just like that, Copilot has fixed the error in less than a second. It's now explained to me the problem is that the seconds function is returning an integer, but Flask is expecting a string, etc. So it's helped me here by casting this number type, int type, to a string. So I'm going to save that. And as you can see in my terminal here, it's the development server, the debug server has detected a change, and it has reloaded the application. Now, if we go back to our website and refresh, you can see now we have the number of seconds since epoch printed right in our browser. So just like that, we got that working. Cool. So I'm just going to go through the slides again. This is exactly what we did there, and we fixed the error after using the /fix command. Give me a thumbs up if you're following me. If everything's good, if we're good to continue. All right, so looks like Qt 1590 is on Windows and is having a little bit of trouble activating the virtual environment. We can help you offline afterwards on Discord if you need additional support. All right, thank you for giving me the thumbs up. Excellent, excellent. Now let's jump into the third part of this demo, which is adding to the program. So now you understood how the code is working. You can fix bugs now using /fix command. We're going to show you how to add to the program. And I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can use Copilot to help you. And first of all, like, you can just use the GitHub Copilot command prompt and type in the thing that you need done. So in this example, I'm going to add a new route that shows hours since epoch. So we have a second since epoch. We're going to add a route that says, that returns the number of hours since epoch. And I can do that by pressing Ctrl-I on Windows and Linux, Command-I on macOS, and just start typing what I need done. So in this case, add a route that returns hours since epoch. All right. And with that, the code has been added. I now have a function for hours since epoch and /hours. But if you kind of look at this, if you know a little bit of Python, you might notice some issues here, right? Indentation. So that's kind of one thing I want to bring up is Copilot is not always perfect. You have to be guiding it to do the right thing. So in this case, I'm going to actually fix the indentation so that everything's flush on the first column. Otherwise, Python will not be able to run these two functions. And with that, I'm just going to hit save, Control-S or Command-S on macOS. You can see the server has saved and reloaded. And now let's go back to our browser and go to the /hours command. And just like that, we now have number of hours since epoch. So it's been 486,000 hours since epoch. So that's one way you can use GitHub Copilot command prompt to add to your application. You can also use it as a pair programmer. You can just start by writing your code, and Copilot is going to try to predict what you're trying to do and just fill it in for you. So let's try it out together. Let's start creating a new route. Actually, let's create a new function. Since there's a function for seconds since epoch, hours since epoch, let's create another function called minutes since epoch. And just as I started typing minutes, everything has filled in. And it's even given me like two options. See here, two options. One option that just has this method, this function, and the other option also pre-populates our route for us. And that's exactly what I need. So I'm going to accept the changes by pressing this key, pressing tab, or just clicking on this button, the accept button. So I'm just going to press tab here and save. With that, the application has reloaded again. I just had to type like a few keystrokes and Copilot can predict what I'm trying to write. So now I can go to the new route /minutes, and just like that, we have the number of minutes that we have since Linux epoch, which is 1970, January 1st, 00 UTC. And that's exactly what we're showing here. All right, so we kind of showed you 3 different things that you can do with Copilot, right? We showed you how to explain code, we showed you how to fix bugs, and we also showed you 2 different ways that you can use Copilot to add to your application. Now, I'm actually going to show you just one more thing here. I don't know if I have time, but I want to show you, I'm going to create click the plus here and create a new Copilot panel. And as you can see here, we now have agent mode enabled, right? So we have ask mode, we have edit mode. So ask helps you like chat with Copilot to understand your code or plan out tasks. Edit gives you access, gives Copilot access to edit a single or multiple files, whereas the agent mode gives Copilot full control of your whole code base as well as the terminal to do anything it wants. So let me just say, like let's think of a requirement here and see if Copilot can help us. I'm just going to create a new route that converts an epoch time string to a human readable date, right? So we've created 3 different routes, but all the routes kind of only return integer, right? Only returns the numbers, but we don't really know like, oh, it's not running right now, but you get the idea. We don't really know what the number means, right? So I'm going to create a new route that converts an epoch time string to a human readable date. So that's my requirement. I'm going to hit send, and Copilot is now thinking what we're going to do here. So instead of you having to type anything inside your file, Copilot can actually look at your file, think about it, where is the best place to put the route, what packages it needs. It can even install new packages, and it will create everything for you. So as you can see here, Copilot has created two functions. One is to convert epoch to human readable. That takes in the epoch time and returns a human readable string. And then another route that's /convert. It even generated very nice documentation for us, like exactly what it has, what it does. So it's going to take in the epoch from the command line argument, right? Epoch, and then not command line, query string argument, and then it's going to call the epoch to human readable function to return the human readable timestamp. So that all looks good. and it even gave you an example of how to use it, right? See, you can do that. Convert 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 to epoch. So let me go ahead and start the server and just try this out. So first, let's use our original route to get the second since epoch. I'm going to copy that. Now I'm going to try out my new endpoint, convert epoch equals this time. And just like that, we now know what time that is. The time is July 5th, 11:55 a.m., my local time. And that's perfect. We're barely scratching the surface for the agent mode. So I highly encourage you to continue learning about it, playing with it. It can do even more with front-end code, back-end code, architecting different solutions. So I highly recommend you check out all these different features of Copilot. All right, so we have some questions in chat. Let's cover them real quick. Agent is wonderful if you have a project with multiple files and need to make a change. Exactly. So I can even do this, like, let's just say, show a HTML page that interacts with the convert endpoint. This is like a very basic requirement. All right. Then you can see it's kind of trying to plan out what needs to be done and how the HTML page will interact with the /convert endpoints and how it's going to display results in the HTML page. So while it's thinking, let's go through some of the other questions. It can run commands. Yes, the agent mode has access to the command line, the terminal. So anything you can think of, for sure, you can run commands there. Like it can install packages, it can even run the project for you, it can run tests, everything you can think of. The change tracking is also pretty awesome. Yeah, exactly. So you can see, as you can see here, it's all highlighted, all the changes it's making, and you can accept or undo the changes. All right, so let's kind of close out everything, and then we can check back on the progress. So please remember, Copilot makes mistakes. They make errors. As you can see in our demo, the fix command fixed most of the code, but made a little mistake on indentation. So those are some of the things that you need to be aware of. And ultimately, like, you're the pilot. GitHub Copilot is just a copilot. You can delegate tasks to it, but ultimately, you as a pilot is responsible, right? So make sure you read, understand, and edit the code Copilot produces. But remember, you're a hacker. You will do great here. So here's my pitch. GitHub Copilot is here for you this entire Global Hack Week and beyond. So I highly encourage you, add Copilot to your team. These are some of the features we showcased. It's really like adding an extra teammate on your side. So whenever you're working on a project or a challenge at Global Hack Week, definitely check it out. And here are some additional resources. All the links are available at the check-in. And then lastly, if you don't mind, if you be so kind, please submit a feedback at the Global Hack Week feedback link here. And I really appreciate you and would love to hear from you. Like, what did you like from this session? And what are some things that you would like to see in the future? And just like that, we talked about running commands. Now, see, Copilot is trying to run a command to create, what is it trying to do? It's trying to run this application right here. So I'm just gonna hit continue, and it's going to try to run the application. But because it currently does not have knowledge of our virtual environments, let's just run this manually in the interest of time. We can still run the Flask in debug mode. And let's just take a quick look at the route it created. So it created a converter route. So let's go to it together. Converter. And boom, we now have a epoch time converter. I can click I can paste in the epoch timestamp that we have from before and click convert. And it's actually going to call the endpoint that we created and return a human readable date. So in just, let's just see how many, like just one sentence here, I was able to get a fully functional HTML page that interacts with our endpoints. All right. We actually don't have any time left, but let's see if I can get to this question right here. I was using GitHub Copilot and chat already installed. It was showing recommended changes or code suggestions. I don't know if stop doing so without me turning it off. All right, so there's actually a button on the bottom right. You can click on the Copilot logo. Actually, let me hide this comment here so you can see. You can click on the Copilot logo and just make sure under settings, the code completion, next edit suggestions, and all the things are turned on. So I hope that helps. If you have more issues, make sure to use the Ask GitHub channel on Discord if you need further assistance. With that, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. I hope you had a good time. Next up is Today in Global Hack Week with Kari. So stay tuned for that. You should be jumping on right now. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.